Hi, my name is Tazeem and you're watching me on DESIblitz.com.
DESIblitz.com.
Hi Taz, thank you for joining us here on DESIblitz. Could you start off by telling us a little bit about what's inspired you to pursue a career in cricket and also how you got started in this sport?
Yeah, so I started when I was about 6 or 7 back in Netherlands. So obviously I was with my uncles and stuff and my dad, and every time at home there was used to be like cricket on the telly. Everyone used to be watching it, and that's where I kind of got the love of the game from. Started to get interested in cricket from about at that age. And yeah, then went to a club in Amsterdam, started to play there, started to get a bit more serious about it. Was really enjoying it as well. And then fully started kind of getting more serious about it, started to train more. When I moved over to here, Birmingham, to kind of play for Warwickshire, trialled for the under 11s and under 12s. Started in under 12s and didn't get into the under 11s team. But yeah, since then it's just been great having the coaches in this environment at Warwickshire. It's been, I can't say too much about it because it's been pretty much really good. Really grateful for what the coaches have kind of done for me over the last couple of years. So yeah, then played under 13, under 14s, then got into the EPP for 1 year, then straight onto the academy. And been on the academy since I was 14 now. But yeah, so I'd say it started from there. Yeah.
Was cricket something that your parents supported you in and pushed you into at a young age?
Yeah, quite a lot, especially when I go back to Holland. I remember my dad used to be, even my mum as well sometimes, where I used to be in the garden or somewhere and I would always want to kind of hit balls and stuff. I'd always want to kind of hit balls, kind of bowl, always wanted to pick up a bat or a ball and kind of get involved in cricket, and my brothers, sisters, basically my whole family was kind of pushing me towards that, and I was just trying to enjoy it as much as possible, not taking it too seriously at that young age. But I think that's helped quite a bit now because I just learned how to kind of just enjoy it at that young age, and then come into now where I'm on the academy now, trying to push into kind of professional cricket now. I think that really helps.
Can you share a little bit about some of your highlights and your experience representing England at the Under-19s World Cup?
Yeah, I probably have a couple again, playing against South Africa, West Indies, where I felt like personally bowling wise I did really well. Obviously as a whole team, probably didn't get the result we wanted against West Indies. First game I played against South Africa, I think we won that game. But yeah, overall as a team against South Africa and West Indies, those games were really good games, really intense games. I think that's where you kind of get to play with those kind of players from other countries that are probably trying to push into their kind of professional cricket, trying to probably have a dream of playing for West Indies first team or South Africa. But yeah, I think once you play against those players, you can only get better and stuff. And I'd probably say the main highlight was against Zimbabwe when I took 7 wickets. Our last game at the World Cup. Again, a really good feeling. Obviously wasn't expecting to take 7, but yeah, was really grateful for what all the coaches had really taught me, what I learned throughout those games in training sessions, and yeah, overall it was a really good experience.
So what are some of the key lessons you've learned through competing at the international level at such a young age?
Yeah, I think when you play against those high-level countries and stuff, again going back to South Africa and West Indies, once you play against those players, you can only go to another level really. Especially for me personally, once I started bowling against those players, you kind of see a difference where from like academy level to kind of international against the country's best players at that age. I think that really, like, you learn quite a lot. For me, it was kind of just trying to learn in those pressure environments. Obviously you've got cameras everywhere, commentaries on TV, everything. So I think that was kind of the main thing, where I can kind of try and perform in pressure environments, so that it kind of prepares me, hopefully, which is the dream, to kind of play for England in the next couple of years. And even when I'm back here at Warwickshire and stuff, just trying to kind of take those lessons and learnings into matches, like say if I was playing in the T20 Blast or anywhere, kind of taking those kind of lessons I did from the 19s World Cup and being ready to perform on this level.
So for those who are wanting to get into the sport, especially at a young level, could you talk a little bit about how you balance your cricket commitments with your academic and personal life?
Yeah, obviously went to India just before the World Cup, and I thought that really kind of prepared most of us to kind of balance academics and stuff with cricket. Obviously it wasn't easy when going to India. I think we were there for about a couple of weeks, just over a month. So obviously you kind of have to try and catch up, kind of trying to balance each element out. Obviously we had enough time to kind of have spare time to, catch up on any work, any lessons, speak to teachers back home. But yeah, again, we tried to do the same at the World Cup, and I thought we all did really well.
What aspects of the game do you feel you've improved on the most during your time in England under 19s?
I think for me, personally as a wrist spinner, I think control is what not most, but like quite a lot of wrist spinners don't really tend to have, especially in kind of a bit longer format cricket, one day and red ball. I think that really kind of helped when you play against those guys. And obviously we had a great coaching staff as well, coaching team. Once you get to speak to the coaches, speak to other players and stuff on what to work on, once you start getting repetition going and everything as a wrist spinner, that's when you kind of become more selectable in professional cricket. Hopefully when you again go to England, trying to play for the senior team, or anywhere really as a wrist spinner, you want to kind of try and have as much control as you can really.
And who are some of your cricketing idols or role models, and how have they influenced your playing style and mindset?
Mine would, if we probably go back, would be Shane Warne, probably the greatest leg spinner probably of all time. His control, the energy he brought to the crease, everything really was pretty much amazing. But then once you look at it now, more like modern day now, you've got so many good wrist spinners now. Rashid Khan, Adil Rashid, Adam Zampa, and all these guys that kind of thrive in white ball, do really well in white ball stuff. That's where you want to kind of learn from those guys. And then you've also got other players, probably not as many wrist spinners, but in red ball, but that's where you kind of have to try and speak to other players and coaches on how you can transition that into Red Bull.
What are your long-term goals and aspirations in cricket, both in the national and also at the international level?
Yeah, I think for me the main dream is to play for England in the next couple of years, hopefully. Kind of push on from 19s. Any opportunity I get to play here with the first team, try and keep performing, trying to push myself into the first team, whether that's white ball or red ball. Just keep trying to push myself, and then hopefully from then can start to kind of hopefully break through into the England senior team.
And how would you say you handle pressure, especially those situations where you've had a bad game, your mind's all over the place? How do you try and stay focused and try and keep your mindset resilient?
Yeah, I think what helps me kind of stay calm on the pitch is kind of, again, going back to religion, is that's probably the most important thing for me. Just being so calm, praying, doing our normal habits that we do, doing what we have to do daily. I think off the pitch, what I do there is kind of try and stay calm, and that kind of also helps me in again going to the 19s World Cup, hopefully again playing England, and then even when going to professional cricket, that kind of helps me to stay calm, not try and get too aggressive, and kind of just stay cool, calm and collected, really.
Finally, what advice would you give to aspiring young cricketers, those who hope to follow in your footsteps and also to represent their country at the highest level?
Yeah, I think the main thing I would say is kind of being dedicated, listening to others, listen to players, coaches, anyone that's kind of has more experience than you, and then kind of balancing all that determination, listen to others with hard work as well, to kind of keep putting the yards in, keep training every day, step by step, not thinking too far ahead, kind of try and stay in the moment, not think too much about the past or the future, really. And yeah, just kind of go through it with those 3 points, really.
DESIblitz.com